Hey, what's going on, peeps? Welcome in. Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. Hope you're doing well, mate. Really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, friend. The daily, sometimes twice a day. Show here on Football Therapy where I reflect on what's being said about the news, giving you my opinion on it. More importantly, ladies and gentlemen, asking for yours. 2 really good pieces of news to reflect on in this video. And also a fun speculative thing as well. Good news, Tony Rudiger, Mason Mount, speculating fun, Paul Pogba. Strap yourselves in, get comfortable, drop a like, please. Takes a second, little click. There's my mouse, can you see my mouse? There's my mouse, click. Easy, drop a like, you're all welcome to subscribe, should you choose to do so. Make sure you hit that bell, friend, hey? So many videos, so much content. Hopefully you enjoy it. Yeah? Okay. So what should we start on? Let's start on Mason Mount. Currently injured, hopefully targeting a return for the Carabao Cup final against the Ruddy Scousers. To be honest, his inclusion in that game, provided he's fit, would be really important because of his hard-working, high-octane style of play. You've got to be really hard-working against Liverpool. Also, Inter showed us that midweek in the Champions League. Also, he's good for assists and goals. We really need that at the moment, so that would be really good. Hopefully, if Mason Mount can be ready for that. But I want to cite a situation coming from Fabrizio Romano tweeting about Mason Mount. Quote, Chelsea are planning to open talks with Mason Mount in the coming months. Discussions over a new contract have not started yet. No direct contact, but Chelsea want to negotiate this year to avoid problems. His current deal ends in 2024. So he's got 2 years left on his deal, of course. He signed a new deal when Frankie Lampard came along. He was under contract at Chelsea, but on loan at Derby. Because he was going into the Chelsea first team, he signed a new contract to 2024. Now, we don't want Mason Mount to go into the last year of his deal, because then you have a situation like Antonio Rudiger, Andreas Christensen, Cesar Azpilicueta, and indeed Thiago Silva, though, we keep giving him 1-year extensions. And seeing how important Mason Mount is to Chelsea, and indeed Thomas Tuchel, he's a favourite of the coach, we need to get the young man locked down. I think he also needs to be paid appropriately in terms of the hard work he puts in and the productivity he outputs in the Chelsea squad. Now, Fabrizio Romano here says there's been no negotiations yet, but for a long time we've been reading and hearing about reports about how Mason Mount needs to be one of the next ones on the list to be locked down long term. He's already won Player of the Season. A top 20 Ballon d'Or. He's sort of a talisman for Chelsea. In terms of, the great marketing tool, La Cobham, hard worker, one of the first names on the team sheet for England. It will be good news. We really are hoping to see a Mason Mount contract extension sooner rather than later. So that is positive news. Also positive news to coincide with hopefully him making it back for the Carabao Cup final. But we'll see what kind of shape we're in before then. I think we play against Palace, and indeed the Champions League before the final, if I'm correct. Now, I'm not always correct. Plenty of time. We'll see how the form goes. Now, I do want to talk about Paul Pogba because a lot of people have been talking about him, but presumably really good news. Good news. Now, I've reported on this before, saying finally some good news about Antonio Rudiger, maybe like a couple weeks ago, something like that. And I was like, yeah, it looks good. But what I was reporting on at the time was the noise and the feeling and the sentiment that he wanted to stay at Chelsea, and Tuchel's feeling like he's going to stay at Chelsea. Since that video I've done, more interviews have come out from the man himself, and he's like, yeah, I'm happy. It's all very well saying happy, because the last he said, he was like, well, it's up to the club now, man. I've done my bit. I've said my bit. It's up to the club. Now, Matt Law and Mike McGrath and Chris Basham have written a article on the Telegraph, and it's a lot of Chelsea-related stuff here. So there's stuff about Antonio Rudiger. I'm going to quote it now. Have a little listen, and hopefully you enjoy this positive news. Chelsea's current priority is trying to sort out the futures of Antonio Rudiger, Andreas Christensen, and Cesar Azpilicueta, who will all be out of contract this summer. Rudiger has been offered a new deal worth in the region of 170k a week. Pause, ladies and gentlemen, pause. He was on, 90k a week. Chelsea offered him 140k a week. And he was like, no. That's a lot of money, by the way. 100 for a defender in the Premier League. For a defender at Chelsea, 140k a week. And he said no. And I get it. He's in the sweet spot. He's in the slot. He's 28 years old. He's at the top of his game. This is his last chance to get that big money dollar. He's a champion of Europe. Loads of people want Antonio Rudiger. I get it, man. Play the best hand you can. He felt like he could get more juice out of Chelsea. And seemingly he can. Because Chelsea have offered £170,000 per week. Ooh, wait! That is a serious contract offer. Man, hay fever. I continue. Worth in the region of 170k a week, which would make him the the highest paid player. The highest paid defender in the club's history. While there is no sign of an end to the standoff between Chelsea and Christensen. So let's just read the rest of this paragraph. Barcelona are increasingly confident they're putting together a package to persuade Cesar Azpilicueta to join them in the summer. Chelsea captain 32 is the first choice at Barca, for Xavi over there, to add competition at right back where Sergino Dest has joined this season, and Dani Alves as well. Dani Alves is 47, so Azpilicueta could certainly challenge Dani Alves and actually bring some defensive now. So I think they just sort of let Dani Alves run forward and do what he wants. But, you can actually rely on Cesar Azpilicueta to do his right back thing. Antonio Rudiger offered 170k a week. That would make him the highest paid defender in Chelsea's history. Think about that. John Terry didn't retire that long ago. John Terry is the greatest Premier League defender of all time. I know times are different in terms of wage packet. Even in the last 5 years, it's gone up and up and up. But surely, come on, ladies and gentlemen, surely Antonio Rudiger has to accept this deal, which would make him the highest paid defender in Chelsea's history. He's amazing. He's doing really well. He's not. Can we all just agree? Antonio Rudiger, no matter how good he is, he's not like, Thiago Silva, 9 years ago, or even a few years ago, and he's not John Terry. We can all agree. Should we shake? Yes. Rudiger, very good, but not that good. I know he was being offered 200k, maybe by Real Madrid. If he truly is so happy at Chelsea, which he keeps saying, I want to stay at Chelsea, my family are here, my children are born in England, happy Chelsea, happy with Tuchel, happy with my teammates, I love the fans. Take 170k a week, that will make you the highest paid defender in Chelsea's history, over the likes of JT and whatever other wicked recent big centre-backs. Surely, right? Surely. Don't call me Shirley. Now, honestly, that is, you have to accept that. Look, on Cesar Azpilicueta, man, we'll watch, we'll keep an eye on that. I do think it's more and more closing in, more likely that he goes to Barcelona. I've just got a gut feeling. I'll be pleased if he stays, but I've got that gut feeling. But, look, man, I'm totally cool. For me, I feel like the club have backed Tuchel, and they're like, yeah, we're going to make this dude a serious earner at Chelsea. And, it would give him maybe they give him a 5-year, I don't know if they give him a 5-year deal, but a 4-year deal probably. So dude in his 30s earning serious peas. I'm totally okay with what Chelsea have done now. If he doesn't accept it, then that's on him. 170k a week, bearing in mind he was on 90, they've essentially doubled his wages. And they're going to give him a new long-term deal. For me, he has to accept that. If he's truly happy with Chelsea, he has to accept that deal. What do you think? Comment down below about Antonio Rudiger. What do you think about that? And let's move on and end the video by a little bit of speculative fun, because I've heard so many mixed reviews. Paul Pogba is open to Premier League offers if he leaves Manchester United in the summer. Paul Pogba is out of contract with Man United in the summer. Man United are no good. They look like they've got no direction. The players are briefing journalists. They might get Champions League football. One thing's for sure is he's been there for 5 or 6 years. Probably 6 years. And he's only won 2 trophies. He's won the Europa League and the League Cup, both under Jose Mourinho, a manager of which he fell out with. In the meantime, the likes of City have cleared up domestically. Chelsea have won Premier Leagues, Europa Leagues, Champions Leagues in that time. And people are saying maybe he could go to a Man City or a Chelsea. Probably not Liverpool because he does have roots in Man United and maybe that, would tarnish his legacy. But maybe out of the 3, Man City are the noisy neighbours. If he's going to listen to Premier League offers, to me, to humble old me, that really just leaves one club that's not a direct rival to, Man United in terms of being City or Liverpool, and that's Chelsea. Now, there's a lot of you might be thinking, Paul Pogba on a free transfer, an amazing talent from Man United, and we can rub it in their faces, and what if he cooks? It'll be amazing. I get that. But there's been a lot of blowback. A lot of people have talked about that sort of, maybe unfairly, I'm not saying this. This is what a lot of people have said on social media, that he's got that sort of celebrity ego status that really wasn't conducive to success with Thomas Tuchel in PSG. In terms of your Mbappe's, your Neymar's, he didn't like that. He likes more of the team spirit that he's got at Chelsea. Would Paul Pogba put that under threat? I'm not linking Paul Pogba to Chelsea. I'm talking speculatively. Although, should headlines come out linking him to Chelsea, we will of course reflect on that here on the channel. Look, man, I think Paul Pogba is a unique talent. In terms of he's tall and he's strong. He's not just a guy who can ping long balls and hit long shots and he's a bit skillful. He's actually strong. He's really physically built for the Premier League. People were he can hold up the ball, not back to players, just literally hold them up, and he's really strong on the ball, which is tick in the Premier League. He's got an eye for a pass. What else? He can stop when he cooks. When Paul Pogba cooks, he's amazing. He's amazing. But is that too infrequent? Is he much of a team player? You could argue that that's a sort of creativity as a sort of number 6-8 hybrid that we don't have. But we've got loads of midfielders. Chelsea have loads of midfielders. So it's tricky, it's difficult, but I just wanted to put out the question. I'll be looking through the comments on this video and I want to hear your thoughts. Would you take Paul Pogba on a free transfer to Chelsea? Bearing in mind, if he would, of course, be on very high wages. Guys, that's it for today. Make sure you keep it locked. Daily videos, sometimes more than once. Make sure the bell notifications icon's turned on when you subscribe, and I appreciate anyone who likes the video. Sweet friends, enjoy the football. See you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry.